Welcome to MMTV. I'm Norman Shiri, aka Voice of Reason.
And I'm Jay Williams, aka MTC. And coming up on today's show, we have a recap of the summer, including Midnight Madness 2010, Chris Paul and his visit to Lillian Bayless Old School, and the player movements of the summer, the kids who came from Midnight Madness and where they're at now.
So, what an amazing summer. Midnight Madness 2010, the regionals rolled through London, Bristol, and Nottingham. We went through the all-night event, fantastic talent showing up once more, and also the finals down in London. What an event that was. We had the slam dunk competition with some of the dunks never seen before on this planet. It was, all in all, an incredible summer.
Yep, I'd like to say Justin Darlington. That's one name I want to throw out there, but we'll get to that. Let's talk about how MM went through from the beginning, from London, East London. The score was amazing.
It was. I think the score, as usual, unveiled some new hidden talent. I think the level of players and the athleticism and the sheer number of players, again showed that, with respect to the rest of the country, London really is a hotbed of talent right now.
It really is. I think we went down to Bristol and Nottingham, and once again, Jesse Boot Arena hosted us, and they were very helpful. And a lot of guys made the trip from all across the country to come down to Nottingham and play some good ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, one more time, I think that the level of players, we had like 5 England internationals at the under 18 level show up. We had some GB under 20s internationals show up. And we even had some men's England internationals show up. So, it's really a testament, I think, to the strength of where Midnight Madness is right now. And I think also that we're still so important on the Players' Summer.
For me, one of the best players that I've seen, and I've seen him play all last year, was Teddy Okorafor, and also John Stewart and Devin Van Oostrum. I mean, those three playing on the same team. What an amazing team that was.
Yeah, their team was called Green Light, and they had the Green Light all summer. I think Teddy's definitely one to watch. Yeah. John Stewart as well up in Sheffield.
I like him.
Amazing player. Can do it inside and out. And then obviously Devin Van Oostrum. He's the name on everybody's lips right now, and for good reason. The kid can really, really, really play. So it's great to have him down as well.
They also had Jesse Chuko on their team, another kid who's gone out to the States this year as well. And that team went and they won the whole thing.
Well, we expected big things from Jesse. I think the whole country's expecting big things from Jesse. He's a great player, great potential, and again, it was great to have him down in the event this year.
Yeah. Some of the men who rolled through from Newcastle, our guy,
Darius Defoe. Darius Defoe.
Darius Defoe.
Yeah. I mean, Darius Defoe's a Midnight Madness legend.
Yeah.
He's won the event more times than anybody apart from Marcus Knight.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a player, still doing big things up in Newcastle at the moment. Yeah. So having him come through again was a blessing for us. And again, I think he showed everybody what the standard, of British basketball is right now. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we had other old school players, Pierre Henry Fontaine, Mansour Mbaye. So we had a lot of the old guys coming out and showing some of the younger guys what it was really about.
Yeah, I think the big thing about it is for this year, June, is that we had a combination of ages and showed that Midnight Madness really is for all age groups. We had the under 18s, under 20s, and the men for the first time ever. So, combining it all together, I think gave us again, a new platform to build on for next year.
Definitely. So, Midnight Madness, the finals, Crystal Palace.
Yeah, it was a big one. It's a big one. I think, the under 18s again, leading on from the strong talent we saw in the summer. Teddy, in particular for me, showed he was miles ahead, I think, of the competition on that night. Him and John Stewart really stood out for me, and Jesse too. Yeah. But then under 20s, again, Ryan Martin and Kenroy Woods, I think, were the standout players for me in that game. And then moving on to the men, we had Tanner Adu played a great game. Oh, yeah. And then old school, Pierre Henry Fontaine. Will Neighbour did his thing as per usual. But all in all, I think the games were competitive. They were exciting. And a great advert for, I guess, what Midnight Madness summer basketball brings. And then, again, finally onto the piece de la resistance, the slam dunk competition. Oh my goodness. If you haven't seen it and you don't know, you need to make sure you check the clips. You need to make sure you check the clips, because we saw some of the best dunks anywhere on the planet. And I'm talking about NBA, I'm talking about Europe, EuroLeague. You bring them up, stack them up. We saw the best dunks on the planet. Justin Darlington and Guy Dupuis. Once again, the reigning, or should I say, former reigning champion from Midnight Madness. Justin Darlington, aka Just Fly, came and really did some things we've never really seen before.
He really had me clutching the people. I mean, I was like, I didn't think that stuff was kind of possible.
Yeah.
For me, the most standout dunk was the one where he did a somersault, a cartwheel, picked up the ball, and then put it between his legs and dunked the ball. I mean, I struggle just doing a cartwheel, so for him to do that and then dunk the ball is amazing.
I say, he's got an AKA of Just Fly. I'd call him AKA Xbox or PlayStation, because you can only do those kind of dunks on a computer. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing.
Another highlight of the summer was definitely another visit from another NBA great, and definitely a future Hall of Famer, Chris Paul. Chris Paul was, came down to the Lily Bayless Old School, where he conducted a clinic for us and interacted with the kids, and he's another amazing character.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once again, we're honoured to have another NBA star grace our presence again. We've done Michael Jordan, then LeBron James, and now Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul, for me, was just amazing. The time he spent with our young players here, and teaching them, the ins and outs of the game, and giving them some great life advice, and helping also invest in the school. So let's check out some clips from Chris Paul when he came down to Lillian Bayless on the Chris Paul Jordan Brand Clinic.
Today at Lillian Bayless, we've been rededicating the court to Brand Jordan and all of the 10 inductees of the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame has actually been designed for kids who have been part of the Sports Action Zone and the Reach and Teach program. We've had a very special guest, Chris Paul, who's an NBA superstar. He's come today, we've run a clinic and he's been involved in helping the kids out.
We ran the skills drills this morning with Junior, myself and the coaches. We run the programs that take place in this court, and we're heavily involved in the whole program down here. So today's been a fantastic day for us.
And now we have Jackson Gibbons, our specialist on player movements over the summer. Jackson, can you give us a rundown of the players who's come through Midnight Madness this summer and what they're doing now?
Yeah, certainly. We've had 6 players in total go to the US this year. We've had 5 go to prep schools and 1 go to a junior college. Pretty much all off the back of being involved in the program this summer. The 2 probably most high-profile players. One of the players of the summer was Teddy Okirafor, who played at Westminster Warriors last year, and now he's gone on to Christchurch School in Virginia. We've got Ryan Martin, who's gone over to Bridgeton Academy, which is NEPSAC AAA, which is one of the biggest schools in America, biggest prep schools. We've got Khalil Irving, Samson Oliemi, and Edmir Lucas, who are all going to the Masters School in Connecticut. And we've got Kenroy Wood, who I believe has gone to Mobley Junior College in Missouri.
And how did it come about, these guys? They come through Midnight Madness, they played well, and what happened there?
It's a combination of a couple of things. It's a combination of guys who have shown interest to us, and we have a vast network of coaches who are interested in us. And then also, on the back of that, we check the guys out. We make sure that they've got a high level of academics. We actually ask them a series of questions to make sure they're high character kids, because we don't want to send any kids to America who, are going to really bring down our name or tarnish our reputation. And then it's about, using our resource and our networks and telling the coaches over there, about these young gentlemen and whether or not we would, recommend them being at the school for next year. And all these 5 guys or 6 guys in total were lucky enough to, take up those opportunities.
There's 2 other points in there. One was the academics. How important is the academics? And 2 is, game tape. How important was that as well?
The first one, for me, is character, because if we at Midnight Madness don't want to deal with something, if we don't feel good about putting our name to you, we're not going to put our name to you, we're not going to recommend you to the coaches. The next one is academics. You don't have to be the greatest ball player in the world to go to America on a scholarship, but you need to have the high level academics, otherwise they won't consider you, because your academics is a transgression or a transparency of your character. A good kid is going to have, you know, good grades. A bad kid or somebody who isn't going to apply themselves in the classroom, you know that there's probably going to be some other issues in there. If you put in the hard work on the hardwood, then, you know, you'll be able to open up opportunities for yourselves. Game tape is important because then they can obviously see that you can play, but a good transcript, so having good grades is highly important. And then obviously somebody else who, you know, is able to give you a great reference is very important too.
Thank you very much, Jackson. Hopefully next time we can speak to some of these guys.
Yeah, I had a fun conversation earlier with Teddy Okirafor over at Christchurch School in Virginia. I'm sure you want to hear it, and I'll catch you guys next week.
Hello?
Teddy, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Jackson, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I just wanted to get a little update from how things are going with you in Virginia.
Oh yeah, they're going good. School. I'm settled into school now.
What do you think were the defining factors in you actually getting the school this year?
I think the amount of exposure I got from Midnight Madness that I played in, which was like very big, it helped me a lot. I went to America during the summer and we played a couple of schools, which was a good eye opener. I think grades were also a big factor, like in me getting over here, and definitely my basketball work ethic. It's really got to do with hunger, how hard or how much you want something.
Okay, and just finally, Teddy, before we, you know, let you go off this call, what would be, you know, if you could give young people back home in England, you know, one valuable nugget or a really good piece of advice, what would you tell them to be in your position this time in a year's time?
I'd definitely say work hard, play ball as much as you can. For real, go to Midnight Madness. It's just the connections they've got and the people they know is so much more advanced than like one coach or one National League coach that you probably have. So definitely go play Midnight Madness Summer League and try and make the top 10, and hopefully you can go to America like I did, see some schools and one will like you.
Excellent. All right, Teddy, well, good luck with this year. You know, we hope to stay in touch and hopefully I'll speak to you soon.
All right, Jack. Speak to you soon. Thanks for calling.
This has been MMTV. Before you go, make sure you check out the Midnight Madness Facebook page. Click like and enter the best basketball quote of the last 10 years, because we've got a fantastic prize waiting for the best one. Make sure you check that out. And we also want to say a massive thank you to Reach and Teach for sponsoring us this week. Make sure you go check their website out too, reachandteach.co.uk. There's a lot of good stuff happening over there, and we'll be back shortly.
Coming up next week, we'll be talking about Kobe Bryant's visit to London, the new NBA season, and the top players coming through MM. Thanks for watching. See you next time.